Consumer Reports surveys roughly 380,000 vehicle owners every year to build the most comprehensive reliability picture in the automotive industry. When their data says a car has below-average predicted reliability, it means real owners are reporting real problems across 20 different trouble areas. These 9 electric cars failed to earn Consumer Reports' recommendation in 2026, and buyers should think twice before signing on the dotted line. Number 9. Honda Prologue. Honda is one of the most trusted names in the automotive world, which makes the Prologue's reliability disaster all the more shocking. Consumer Reports gave the Honda Prologue a predicted reliability score of just 25 out of 100, placing it squarely on the publication's list of the 10 least reliable cars of 2026. That score is catastrophically low for a brand that built its entire reputation on dependability, and it cost the Prologue its Consumer Reports recommendation. The root of the problem lies in the Prologue's DNA. Honda co-developed this electric SUV with General Motors, using GM's Ultium battery platform, and the partnership has introduced reliability headaches that Honda buyers simply are not accustomed to dealing with. Owners have reported screens going completely blank while driving, a defect serious enough to trigger a recall affecting approximately 45,000 Prologue units and nearly 20,000 Acura ZDX models that share the same platform. High-voltage system warnings with no clear cause have left owners stranded, and some have experienced random brake activation that creates a genuine safety hazard on highways. The advanced driver assistance systems have also proven unreliable, with features cutting out unexpectedly. Axle clicking noises have been reported on earlier models, suggesting mechanical concerns beyond just software. Honda took roughly 20 months to develop a fix for the blank screen issue, a timeline that frustrated owners and eroded trust in the brand's ability to support its first mass-market EV. Consumer Reports noted that the Prologue's issues span multiple trouble areas, from EV charging to body electronics, painting a picture of a vehicle that was rushed to market before its systems were fully sorted out. For a vehicle starting at $39,000, buyers deserve far better from Honda. Number 8. Hyundai Ioniq 9. The Hyundai Ioniq 9 arrived with enormous expectations as a 3-row electric SUV designed to take on the largest family vehicles in America. Consumer Reports acknowledged its strengths by awarding an impressively high road test score, but then delivered a devastating verdict by refusing to recommend the vehicle due to its below-average predicted reliability. That decision was driven almost entirely by one recurring nightmare that has haunted Hyundai's entire EV lineup: the Integrated Charging Control Unit known as the ICCU. This component manages the vehicle's low-voltage charging systems, and when it fails, the consequences are severe. Owners have reported complete battery drain, sudden loss of power while driving, and vehicles that refuse to start without warning. Consumer Reports specifically flagged ICCU failures as a systemic issue across Hyundai, Kia, and Genesis EVs. And the Ioniq 9 has not escaped the problem despite being the newest model in the family. Reddit owners confirmed that early batches of the Ioniq 9 experienced slightly higher ICCU failure rates before the issue was addressed in later production runs. Beyond the ICCU, expert reviewers have criticized the Ioniq 9's steering and braking modules for feeling underwhelming relative to the vehicle's size and price. The infotainment system has been described as glitchy, with finicky user profiles and an unintuitive interface that creates distractions while driving. Starting at $58,000, the Ioniq 9 is not a cheap vehicle, and buyers at that price point have every right to expect flawless reliability from day one. Consumer Reports data suggests they will not get it. Until Hyundai definitively solves the ICCU crisis, even its most impressive new models will carry an asterisk that buyers cannot afford to ignore. Number 7. Audi Q6 e-tron. Audi built the Q6 e-tron on an entirely new premium platform electric architecture, and the growing pains have been brutal. Consumer Reports included the Q6 e-tron on its list of the 12 least reliable EVs for 2026, and the vehicle's predicted reliability score has suffered enormously from a cascade of software glitches, multiple NHTSA recalls, and owner frustration that extends from the infotainment screen to the charging port. The Audi multimedia interface system has been the single biggest source of complaints, with owners reporting that basic Apple CarPlay functions stop working. The Audi app becomes unresponsive for no apparent reason, and critical driver assistance features like lane assist and adaptive cruise control disappear entirely from the heads-up display without warning. One Reddit thread cataloged a seemingly never-ending list of issues including lane change warning failures, rear turn assist malfunctions, and driver assist system dropouts that required dealer visits to reset. An over-the-air MMI update actually broke CarPlay connectivity for some owners, making the problem worse rather than better. On top of the software headaches, NHTSA has issued 3 recalls for the 2026 Q6 e-tron already, a troubling pace for a vehicle that has been on the market for less than 2 years. J.D. Power gave the 2025 model a disappointing quality and reliability score of just 56 out of 100, reinforcing Consumer Reports' negative assessment. The Q6 e-tron offers an impressive 330-mile range and strong acceleration, but those performance numbers ring hollow when the car's own software cannot reliably operate its most basic functions. At a starting price of $64,000 for the 2027 model, Audi buyers are paying premium prices for a below-average ownership experience. Number 6. Polestar 2. Polestar positioned the Polestar 2 as a stylish, performance-oriented electric fastback that could challenge the Tesla Model 3 on its own turf. But Consumer Reports data tells a very different story about what it is like to actually live with one. The publication gave the 2024 Polestar 2 a shockingly low predicted reliability score of just 36 out of 100. And the 2026 model has not demonstrated the kind of improvement needed to escape that reputation. Forum owners have expressed confusion and frustration over Consumer Reports' assessment, but the data is sourced directly from owner-reported problems across multiple model years, and the pattern is clear. Polestar, as a relatively young brand with limited production volumes, has struggled with the kind of quality control consistency that established manufacturers take for granted. Software bugs have been a persistent theme, with owners reporting infotainment freezes, connectivity dropouts, and over-the-air updates that occasionally introduce new problems while fixing old ones. The Polestar 2 shares its underpinnings with the Volvo XC40, which should theoretically provide a stable engineering foundation. But the integration of Polestar's own software and calibration has created unique issues that do not affect the Volvo version. Consumer Reports removed its recommendation for models whose reliability falls below average, and the Polestar 2 has been unable to clear that bar despite being on the market since 2020. The brand's smaller dealer and service network also means that when problems do arise, getting them resolved can take longer and require more effort than it would with a mainstream manufacturer. For a vehicle starting around $49,000, the Polestar 2 asks buyers to accept reliability risk levels that its price tag does not justify, especially when the Tesla Model 3 now offers better predicted reliability at a lower starting price. Number 5. Kia EV9. The Kia EV9 was supposed to be the electric vehicle that proved a 3-row family SUV could work on a battery-powered platform, and in many ways it succeeded brilliantly in its design goals. Unfortunately, Consumer Reports gave it a predicted reliability score of just 24 out of 100, making it one of the 10 least reliable vehicles of any kind on sale in America in 2026. That score stripped the EV9 of its Consumer Reports recommendation and placed it alongside some of the worst reliability offenders in the entire automotive industry. The ICCU problem that plagues the broader Hyundai Kia Genesis EV family is once again the primary culprit. owners have reported that replacement 12-volt batteries can take up to a year to arrive, leaving vehicles inoperable for extended periods. When the ICCU fails, it can drain the low-voltage battery completely, preventing the car from starting or even unlocking its doors. J.D. Power reinforced Consumer Reports' findings by assigning the EV9 a quality and reliability score of just 57 out of 100. Beyond the ICCU, the 2025 model was recalled for improperly welded motor shafts that could lead to a complete loss of drive power, a safety-critical defect in a vehicle designed to carry up to 7 passengers, including children. A separate recall addressed missing seat mounting bolts in the second and third rows, raising further questions about manufacturing quality control. Parts availability has also been an issue, with owners reporting lengthy delays when their vehicles need repairs, sometimes leaving the EV9 sitting at a dealership for weeks. For a vehicle that starts at over $56,000 and is marketed as a premium family hauler, these reliability failures are unacceptable. Families counting on their vehicle to be dependable day in and day out should look elsewhere until Kia resolves these systemic problems. Number 4. Volkswagen ID.4. The Volkswagen ID.4 holds a distinction that no automaker wants. Consumer Reports has previously ranked it as the single least reliable vehicle in its entire survey, and the 2026 model has done little to escape that shadow. The ID.4's reliability problems are not minor inconveniences. They span the most critical systems an electric vehicle depends on, including the battery, drive system, brakes, and charging infrastructure. The 2024 model year was recalled 8 times by NHTSA, a staggering number that reflects fundamental engineering issues rather than isolated manufacturing defects. One of the most alarming recalls affected over 44,000 ID.4 units for high-voltage battery overheating caused by misaligned electrodes, a defect that carried a genuine fire risk. At least 5 separate battery fires were reported before the recall was issued, prompting Volkswagen to expand its investigation. Consumer Reports' owner survey data paints an equally grim picture, with respondents reporting problems across nearly every major trouble area the publication tracks. The infotainment system has been a persistent source of frustration, with backlighting control issues, random screen freezes, and software glitches that require dealer intervention to resolve. VW ID Talk forum members have documented these problems extensively, and the community consensus is that software updates have improved some issues but introduced others. The ID.4 is competitively priced and offers a roomy, quiet cabin that reviewers generally praise for its driving experience, which makes the reliability failures all the more disappointing. Volkswagen clearly designed a good electric car on paper, but the execution in manufacturing and software development has fallen well short of the standard that buyers expect. Until the ID.4 can string together multiple clean model years without major recalls, Consumer Reports' warning remains well justified. Number 3. Nissan Ariya. The Nissan Ariya arrives from a brand with deep electric vehicle heritage thanks to the pioneering Leaf, but that experience has not translated into a trouble-free ownership experience for Ariya buyers. Consumer Reports' reliability data shows the Ariya scoring below average in its predicted reliability assessment, and the Ariya forum community confirms that the vehicle's reliability score dropped from approximately 60 to 58 in the most recent update. While that number may not sound catastrophically low on its own, Consumer Reports notes that it falls below the threshold needed to earn a recommendation, especially when combined with the Ariya's other shortcomings. The most significant criticism from Consumer Reports concerns the Ariya's EV technology, which the publication describes as weak. The 7-kilowatt onboard charger adds only about 20 miles of range per hour when charging at home on a level 2 connection, a painfully slow rate that means an overnight charge may not fully replenish the battery for owners with longer commutes. DC fast charging is also rated below average by Consumer Reports, meaning that even road trip charging stops take longer than they should. Beyond the charging hardware, owners have reported software inconsistencies and occasional connectivity issues that require dealer visits to diagnose and resolve. Consumer Reports removed its recommendation from 18 models for the 2026 model year due to below-average reliability, and the Ariya was among the electric vehicles caught in that sweep. Nissan has shown with the redesigned 2026 Leaf that it can build a competitive and well-received EV, which makes the Ariya's continued reliability struggles all the more puzzling. For buyers considering the Ariya, the combination of slow charging infrastructure and below-average dependability creates a daily ownership friction that rivals like the Toyota BZ and Hyundai Ioniq 6 have already eliminated. Number 2. Audi Q4 e-tron. Audi managed to land 2 electric vehicles on Consumer Reports' unreliable EV list for 2026, and the Q4 e-tron has been struggling with below-average reliability for multiple model years running. Consumer Reports expects the 2026 Q4 e-tron to be less reliable than the average new car, basing that prediction on consistently problematic data from the 2023, 2024, and 2025 models. The Q4 e-tron was included on BGR's roundup of the 12 least reliable EVs according to Consumer Reports, and its issues are not the kind that go away with a simple software update. The 2024 and 2025 models were recalled for a battery defect that impeded charging and could lead to a complete loss of drive power, a failure mode that leaves drivers stranded and vulnerable on the road. Tire wear has been another recurring complaint, with 2023 model owners reporting that the factory tires degraded far too quickly because they could not adequately support the vehicle's weight and the high torque output of the electric motors. The multimedia interface system has carried over the same software glitches seen in the Q6 e-tron, with Apple CarPlay connectivity problems and unresponsive controls frustrating owners who expected Audi's premium pricing to come with premium software quality. A software recall affecting shift lever indicator displays added yet another entry to the Q4 e-tron's growing list of NHTSA actions. e-tron forum members have documented charging problems extensively, including units that refuse to charge at certain stations or that display incorrect state of charge readings. For a vehicle starting at $50,000, the Q4 e-tron asks buyers to pay a luxury price for reliability that Consumer Reports rates below the industry average. Until Audi can demonstrate sustained improvement across multiple model years, the Q4 e-tron remains a vehicle that Consumer Reports data says you should avoid. Number 1. Chevrolet Blazer EV. The Chevrolet Blazer EV sits at the very bottom of Consumer Reports' EV reliability rankings, with a devastating predicted reliability score of just 19 out of 100, making it the second least reliable vehicle of any kind in the publication's 2026 survey, trailing only the Rivian R1T among electric vehicles. That score is not just below average. It represents a catastrophic failure of quality control for a vehicle built by one of the largest and most experienced automakers on the planet. GM's Ultium platform, which also underpins the troubled Honda Prologue, has proven to be a persistent source of problems that neither company has been able to fully resolve. Blazer EV owners have reported an avalanche of software glitches, including screens that freeze completely during driving, auto-hold brake failures that allow the vehicle to roll unexpectedly, and a motorized charging door that stops working entirely. High-voltage system errors have caused battery malfunctions on multiple occasions for individual owners, and NHTSA recalled over 40,000 Blazer EV units for a damaged or corroded rear parking brake wiring harness that could prevent the parking brake from engaging. Sales numbers tell their own story about buyer confidence. The Blazer EV sold just 1,000 units in Q1 2026, an 83% collapse from the prior year, while its platform mate the Equinox EV moved nearly 9 times that volume. Blazer EV forum members have posted openly about buyers' remorse, with owners describing their experience as a nightmare of dealer visits and unresolved technical issues. Consumer Reports data confirms what the forums and the sales charts already make clear. The Chevrolet Blazer EV is an electric vehicle that buyers should avoid in 2026 until GM demonstrates that it can deliver the basic reliability that its customers deserve. And with this, we have reached the end of this video. Make sure to like it and subscribe the channel for future upcoming videos.